Hi everyone, evening. Just got back from the Linnets coach away at Hednesford Town. I think that's how you say it. I've been saying it wrong for 2 fucking years now. I used to say Hednesford. I think the D is silent, so it's Hednesford. I think how you say it. But yeah, so it's we've come back with lost 1-0. I think on paper you'd think, well, we've only lost 1-0. I was expecting to get beat about 4-5-0. I know it sounds negative, but it's been pretty good. Well, it has been dire the last few weeks. The football we've been served up has been absolute dog shit, and that's the truth. People can say that all they want, and that's not an attack or a criticism of anyone. It's just how it's been. It's been total dog shit the last few performances, and we know that we've got the cup final next week against our old friends Staley Bridge. And I think we're going to get probably beat in that. Again, I know it sounds negative and pessimistic, and from the outside, yeah, it gets easy to think, oh, come on, he's just been negative because he's just lost and he's fed up or whatever. But I generally don't have a good feeling about that. Like, of course, I hope we win. I hope we win every game, but I found out quite quickly from when I started going, we don't win most games. And most teams don't win most games unless you're, I don't know, Real Madrid or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a. Again, it didn't really matter what happened today. No one was too bothered. Obviously, Widnes won today, so congratulations to Widnes. They deserve the title. I know it might not be the easiest thing to say, but they deserve it, and congrats to Elo and his players. They probably deserve it. Could have been with the Linnets if the old board hadn't have been complete twats towards him. So thank you, old board, for getting rid of a manager that's now got our nearest rivals promoted. Well done. I hope you're fucking happy. I did ask around to see why Ella left during COVID. I asked one of my friends who goes there, Billy, said he was asking for a bit more money, and he said he'd taken the club as far as he could. But then again, there was videos of Michael Ellison, or Ella as he known as, saying that he had no contact with the club over the summer, that he tried contacting them and they didn't respond to him. So, yeah, well done. Congratulations to people on the old board. I'm not saying it's everyone. I don't even know who was on the old board, but the old board who decided to allegedly tell him not to come back. And now what's happened? There we go. Got Widnes promoted as champions. May not have happened with the Linnets if he'd been in charge, but there's every chance it could have, so probably sums this club up really, but there we go. Sorry, I know it's not in the best of moods really. I was kind of I've had a really stressful week. I was tired on the coach, so feeling a bit anxious on the coach, because obviously most people probably don't know, because you can't really tell. I'm like autistic or Asperger's syndrome. I think you call it autism spectrum disorder now, or something like that. Don't know now. Everything's got a fucking label. So so I was getting a bit I felt a bit overwhelmed. Weirdly, I don't know, because there's all noise and speakers. Normally doesn't bother me. I normally like it, but I think there's a shit 11th place finish. Been tired all week. I think it was just me and wife Candy were just both kind of fed up, and we don't want to kind of purposely be negative or try to be oh, there's people having fun and there's a few that are not. I know, so sometimes things happen and people do get fed up, and obviously be there and coach at the cup final, but I really haven't got high hopes for it. I think it's going to be I don't know, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say now it'll probably be 4-0 to Staley Bridge. If we win, fantastic, but don't see it happening. It'll be the crown and glory on a dog shit cake of a season. And then there's what we can have, April, May, June. Yeah, three. I think it's 3 months till the pre-season games start. But we know what happened last year. We were all proper, excited for the pre-season games, and we're dreadful in pre-season. Obviously, we didn't know what was to come with the awful football under the old manager. No, it kind of set the tone. When the first pre-season we gained to Cheadle Town, he was warming up playing, and I know it was only a pre-season warm-up, but the fact they still fucking beat us now in the North West Counties, that probably set the tone for the shit that we were going to have to endure after the second place finish last year. Penny for Billy Painter's thoughts right now. People said he's been sacked by Connor's key nomads apparently. So, as much as I love Brad and Rob, and I feel it was probably mission impossible for Brad to really do much this year, because he come in with 14 games out. If he over the summer doesn't get who he wants, can't get out who he wants, can't get in who he wants, I wouldn't blame Brad if he decided to say, I can't do this anymore. Apparently he still lives in Atherton, which is obviously that's in Wigan, so it's a good way for him to go. He said he's got 3 kids at home, he's got a busy life, he does the gym, does a lot of gym work, he's a top fella, great guy. But if I was Brad right now, I'd be thinking, you know what, regardless of the cup final result, I don't know if I can really do anything, because at this level people come and go all the time. He doesn't want to go, but I think if he can't do what he wants over the summer, he won't. He'll probably say, well, what's the point of me staying, because we're not going to go anywhere, we're just going to stay mid-table, we're just going to go round in circles. So I think that's going to be, if he can't, then that's my opinion anyway. Obviously other people can disagree, that's fine. If people are optimistic and think we're going to do much better in playoffs, that's great, that's what I'd love, but I'm always a realist, and I'm not saying people that have different opinions are not realists. I just, where I see things that I've been to, how many games is it, 42? Jeez, 42 games this season. I've been to every single one, and all the cup games as well, and every pre-season apart from one. So there's only one pre-season game I haven't seen. So I've seen it all. Some's been good, some's been okay. A lot of it has been terrible. The standard. I'm not having a go at anyone individually. I know it's a hard game. I get they always give their all, but it has, and the goal difference minus 16, 4th worst in the division. We can't score goals. We can't defend. How many clean sheets have we had? And that basically, a clean sheet means you're not scoring goals. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm sure everyone does. Wythenshawe away, ironically, the first game of the season, 0-0. Wythenshawe Town away, 0-0. We've pretty much not been able to keep a clean sheet in barely any game. We've conceded at least one goal in nearly every fucking game, including the cup games as well. So yeah, we can't defend, can't keep clean sheets, can't score goals. So sorry for Brookie, he can't do it on his own. Again today, how many shots on target do we have? Like 1 or 2. I know the result doesn't matter, but it's just an example of just a bunt in attack. We've got one striker who's getting on. He's almost as old as me. He's 34, I'm 37. He's an absolute legend, and Brookie and other guy. But as I said before in other videos, he can't do it all by himself, because he's, it's like any club. You can sometimes play with a lone striker, and it does work sometimes. But Brookie is his injury record, his age, and that, and he still do well. But you can't expect someone like that to be the lone striker, and trying to play other people as a striker when they're not isn't going to work. I really, really thought, when I know I keep going on about him a lot, like Ollie Malloy, I thought when he went, by now we'd have had another striker. We don't. We got Lewis Crane, but he's from the academy. He's 18. He looks talented. He looks really good, but he's an 18-year-old kid. You can't just throw an 18-year-old kid from the academy in and go, there you go. There's your second striker straight from the academy. No, he has to build up, and he's bulking up. Lewis Crane. He looks very, very lightweight. I know he's only a kid, and I looked like that at 18. I wasn't fat like I am now. I was about 3 or 4 stone lighter when I was 18. I was probably like 9-10 stone, and now I'm like 13 and a half or something. But yeah. Grouts to witness they deserve the title. It doesn't matter what we think of them, they've been the best team. Elwo's done a great job, as I said, and said before, the old board are fucking twats for fucking basically telling him not to come back. If that was true, then maybe there's more to it than that. You know, start the season, as we said, and started bad with the player stroke manager. He was the manager, but he was still playing, and he was making the excuse, "Oh, I have to get my boots back on." And that. No, he still wanted to be a player. You know, I know he said he couldn't pass up the opportunity to be a manager, but really, he wanted the other. And then I think the club waited too long to sack him. By the time Brad come in, there was just not enough time. So we did have a good run, including the 2 caretaker games that Carl Clare and Ryan Brook were in charge for. We won a drill, and then Carl Clare come on and he's got himself seriously injured again. So he's done for the season. He won't be playing in the final. I don't know if it's a recurrence of the injury he had, but he come on, had to be stretchered off. Felt really bad for Carl. He's one of the few I really, really wanted to start the final for sure, but no, he's sums things up. He's gone. Yeah, I know things have to change. I'm not kind of saying the club won't get players, and I'm sure they will. It's just getting the right players in. If you get someone in who's just on the same level as the others, or they're just a loan signing, or they're no better, then it's kind of makes no difference. Where you have to get someone in who's actually going to replace some of the ones that left, who was as good. And I know it's hard. This level you can't just go out and get who you want. This isn't the Premier League, and or top level. You can't go, I want to get the best player. You can't do that. You have to choose wisely, but it's difficult, really. I think we'd have to look back at some of the. Obviously, we haven't won anything since 2018 when Elwo got us promoted in 2018. Obviously, last year, when you look at some of the players, had Sean Amani, Ollie Malloy, Will Saxon. Obviously, James Short. I know he's been injured most of this season. I know some people don't seem to rate him, but I think he's still been a big miss. We had Tom Miles on loan this season. He was brilliant, but he went back to Man United. It was always going to happen. Jaden Jones, I really liked Jaden this year. He was good, but he's gone back to Blackpool. Taylor Bowen started hitting form, suddenly goes back to Blackpool. Joe Lynch last year, the little fella, he was a good little player. Sean Amani, big Irish centre back. He was quality. Now, one thing I will say about Anthony Kay, to his credit, he was a very good player, the defender. So you could count him when he retired as playing, although he's a horrific manager. So yeah, we've lost some big players, and we haven't replaced them with. I don't say we haven't replaced with anyone good, but we haven't replaced them with the same quality, and that's the be all and end all. I know a lot of people, players and fans, whatever, can be overly sensitive. Go, how can you be that? Oh, it's being disrespectful. Well, it's not being disrespectful. If you're not as good as a previous player, you're not as good. It's not being disrespectful. It's just a fact. It's not saying you're a bad player just because you're not as good as someone. No one's saying players we have now, the squad, are bad, and they are really good players, but some of them are not on the level that some we had previously have gone, and that's not disrespectful. That's just a fact. And if they want to argue it, go, okay then, well, you finished 11th. Sort of what some of these players in the squad actually finished second, so explain that then. Do your talking on the pitch, not on social media. So it seems like you can't say anything even remotely negative or not positive, because people get annoyed and go, oh, how can you say this, blah, blah, blah. I can say what I fucking want. I've been to every fucking game this season. I'm from this fucking town, so fucking fuck off if you don't agree. Sorry, I'm not telling anyone to fuck off personally. I'm just I get fed up with. I don't use social. I only have WhatsApp. I know my wife created an account for my cat on X. I walked through that, but you just see people it's like if they dare to say anything that's not towing to the fucking party line, it's like, how can you say that? I can say what the fuck I want, you dickhead. This isn't North fucking Korea. As long as you're not like abusing people or saying really horrible stuff, I agree that's wrong and that's crossing a line, definitely. But you know, the day people don't like being called out for a poor performance or for not being as good as others, then prove them wrong. Go out on the pitch and prove them wrong. Get your head down. Don't just be a keyboard warrior and be like, oh, talking shit or whatever some people say. Just prove it on the pitch. That's what fans want to see. Just go on the pitch and prove it. But no, don't exercise your legs, not your fingers or your mouth or whatever, or both. No. All right, we don't know what will happen next season. We may have a better season, but when you come off the back of a poor season, finishing 11th, or 22nd, it's hard to be optimistic until you see things change. If the longer things go on and the longer there's silence or we don't hear news that we want to hear, then I'm not going to be optimistic for next season. It'll probably just be the same, maybe a bit better. It depends if Brad and Rob are still here. Depends who leaves the club, who joins. We don't know that. And good luck to the other teams in the playoffs. Good luck to Hednesford. They've got a very good squad. They've got a real nice ground, and fair play to them. I thought they'd hammer us anyway, so good luck to Chase Town. Again, a really nice ground. Good, especially Joe Thompson. I wish we still had him, but yeah, I don't blame him for going to Chase Town. Yeah, he probably realised if he didn't go, he'd be in a team finishing 10th, 11th. Good luck to Congleton Surprise Package, because they got promoted last year, so they've done brilliant. And good luck to Vauxhall. Whoever goes up second, of course they deserve it. Just hope whoever does holds the nerve better than when it did last year. I thought we were actually going to do it. Yeah, it's still kind of. I don't like dwelling on that one, but the more I think this season's ended, you just think, what if? Probably got beat in the final by Prescott anyway. Yeah. No, but we've been 2 seasons now, and the contrast between last season and this season it's big. Last year we had some poor games, but I don't remember us being struggling to score goals so badly. But this season, scoring is just a real problem, and it's probably down to only having one striker. Defence is poor though as well, very poor. Shipped so many goals, so can't score, can't defend. Not what you expect. So I'm one of these because it's we bought off from the coach. I didn't have any on the way back because I couldn't be bothered. I was just tired and yeah. It's good to see the ground anyway. It's a nice ground. I just wish the Linnets ground might be like that one day, but we need something that begins with an M and it ends with a Y to ever get there. But don't mention the M word; it might offend some people. Money doesn't buy happiness and it doesn't get everything, but in football, money talks. The most successful clubs have the resources and money to get they want, and anyone argues that, well, give me an example of a club that's fan-owned. In Germany they're all fan-owned, but it's the same everywhere. All clubs are fan-owned. And this is my popular opinion. I don't want us to be a fan-owned club anymore. It's been nice, like it's lasted, and it's been nice to form a new club after the old one. It's been nice to finally get a home. Nice to get out the Northwest Counties. That's been great. I don't want to forget that. That's been brilliant. But now's the time where being fan-owned will just go nowhere around in circles. I don't want that. As Peter said last year, we've got one of the lowest budgets in the league. And I was like, why have we got one of the lowest if we got second? And I thought, it's because we're fan-owned. We don't have a major benefactor. I'm not saying other clubs have pots of money, they don't, but they clearly have more resources than the Linnets. I'm not saying we need billions of pounds, we just need some money. I even donated 50 quid a while ago because it said that the club was struggling to, it was struggling because they built like a new tea bar, they built that. a fucking stupid wooden decking for the VIP area. You waste of fucking money. What's the point of that? So I donated some money. I'm all right. Yeah, it was my choice too. I just wanted to try and help the club a bit. Obviously, £50 doesn't probably won't do anything really, but I don't know who else. If anyone else donated, they don't have to. That's kind of a bit bad when clubs are asking for donations. Yeah, again, prices when it's a great. You can't knock the prices. Seeing tickets, drinks, that's brilliant. But I just think. I can't see the Winnets going anywhere. Even if we do spring a surprise next year, we're always the plucky underdog. I just feel like we're always hiving in them playoffs. We're probably the underdog in the finals. We were against Medina because Medina have got bigger ground, gone up, work it, and probably have more. And, well, Liverpool, we should have definitely beat them, but you know what happened there. So, yeah, it's. Yeah. I think it's kind of like you don't always like to face up to realisations, but being realistically, Winnets are going nowhere fast unless we stop being fan owned. And if I was wrong in year 2 and we're still fan owned, I'd hold my hands up and say I was wrong, but my opinion is, nah, we aren't going anywhere. Being fan owned, we're not getting promoted. We're not getting ground expansion, we're not getting money. But, if people are happy with that, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying people should be happy or unhappy. It's a personal choice. But I would like to see some change, and I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't want it to become all seating and all that and lose all the, the non-league kind of, things you get, like the atmosphere and the benefits of it. I don't want it to become like league football. I just want to see us to get the odd promotion and just, grow as a club, because we're not. We have grown to a degree getting up to this level, but no, sorry, I don't know. I've just been ranting for 22 minutes, but yeah, it's see what happens in summer next. It's like, but I would like us not to be fan owned. And then I don't want to keep going over this guy, but hello, Mark Wellison. He did say in an old interview on YouTube, he was like, look, being fan owned is great, but it only gets you so far. That's easy, sounds Scouse. This must be a Scouse. And he's right. It does only get you so far. He's right, hit the nail on the head with that. Maybe that old board didn't like him being honest. Oh no, they offended him by actually being honest. And considering he was a Winnets player as well, he's got a big affinity with the club. Maybe they should have actually listened to him instead of whatever reason he did leave if he was told not to come back. But yeah, congrats to him, Witness. Again, as I said, fair play. He's proven he is a good manager, and after the other guy left, I would have loved to have had him back, but obviously I don't blame him for not leaving Widnes. Why would he leave Widnes, a better team who've got promoted, even though they don't seem to have many fans that go there? It doesn't matter, they've still gone up. And by the way, Widnes formed in 2003, so they're not exactly an old club. They're only 3 years older than the Linnets. So, and people think that, it's Linnets aren't an old club, we're still young, so we're Widnes, and they've gone up. And they finished mid-table last year. So, yeah, maybe one day we'll see Owen back, but probably not. Even. Yeah, Callum Mack, I know he's at Chester, isn't he? They're Chester in the playoffs in National League North, they're third. I think that's, fourth, I think they're fourth. 87 points or 84. So good luck to Callum Mack at Chester in the playoffs for Chester. We knew he'd be a good manager. I don't see us ever having anyone like him again. Yeah, but yeah, I want Brad to do well next year. Of course I do, and he's got the experience of the promotion. It's just he has to be able to have the squad he wants and be allowed to do what he needs to do. Because if he can't do it, then you'll probably say, nah, I can't work with this. So, yeah, I'm going to go off in a minute 'cause it's been going on for 25 minutes. Right, probably one of the last videos well, if I do actually upload this, that is, I might watch it back first, because, but yeah, we got final Tuesday, and then, I don't know, it'd be like middle of August or something. Yeah, middle of August when it starts again. Hoping we'll be at home this time, first game, but we'll see. And we'll see who joins us in the league from below and above, and things have got to change. They've got to be better, and I don't want to just keep hearing things aren't acceptable and nothing changes. Otherwise, it's just going to piss me off, because I feel like, you've got to actions speak louder than words. Everyone knows that, so do it on the pitch, please, next season. Yeah, enjoy your summer, everyone, and just please, hopefully next season will be, well, I can only hope it'll be better, but yeah, it hasn't been good enough this season, right, like, subscribe if you want, but, oh God.